Story 1. 4. 1K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by you, Bobby_Rage41. 15 hours ago. They want us to pay the tax on our hotels. We started checking out over 30 days. Sock. So this has multiple layers. Follow me on this journey. Sir, I work for a defense contractor. It's one of the big three. We are based in Guam, but in Florida for training until the summer. We are all in hotels, and here we are a few months into our trip, and all of a sudden the person doing our expense reports keeps kicking him back. Now we are incurring late fees which we all refuse to pay. She is saying that after 30 days we are responsible for the tax on the rooms, which is $13 a day. Almost $400 a month. In our contract, the company has stated they will pay for a trip to our home of record once a month, which none of us have been doing because we have been so busy. Here comes the MC. Now we are all scheduling trips home each month to break up the 30 days so we don't pay the tax on the hotel, while the company is now paying for flights to our homes of record. One guy is from Guam and his tickets are almost $2,000 for round trip. So now it's costing him another $700, $2,000 for flights each month. In another instance years ago, coming home from Japan, my flight had an 8 hours layover in Tokyo. I found a flight that was shorter but cost $200 more. They rejected it because it wasn't the lowest fare available. I'm paid doorstep to doorstep when I travel, meaning I'm on the clock from when I leave my house until I get to my hotel at my final destination. Many of these travel days end up being around 23 hours. I thought the company would be cool with me saving them 8 hours of me on the clock. But nope. Okay then. 13 hours of double time at $100 an hour. So $1,300 over a $200 price difference. I'll take all that money. The people who write these contracts really don't think shit through. 166 comments. Award. Share. Save. 238 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 2. $278. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by you, Bundabar. 6 hours ago. Pull the door logs. Foo. Pay me. MOC. I've done cleared contract work for more than 20 years. One downside of cleared work is that there is no sneaking in late or out early, as everything is logged. A few years ago I discovered that one upside is also that everything is logged. I was hired onto a 5-year contract, and for the first 4 everything was fine. I rode the train to work, did my required 40 hours, went home, and had no problems. Into year 5 the same thing happens that always happens in contacts. People start to leave. This is not unusual, as the end of a contract holds some uncertainty, so people will find another new contract to move onto so they don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, the immediate effect is that the workload shifts to the people that stay and things start to slip. Why not hire more people? Nobody wants to come onto a contract that's in its last year. Well, on this contract I stayed because I liked the customer and intended to ride out the final year shenanigans. Things started to fall behind. We were down from 15 engineers to 5. And the customer complained that the company was not meeting their contract obligation. What did the company do to fix this? Offer hiring bonuses, pay overtime, make lucrative offers for people to stay. Nay. They called in their ball-busting, everybody is inherently lazy, boomer project manager to handle things. From day one, boomer manager, BM, tells everyone that our lack of progress by 5 people on more than 100 active projects is simply a time management issue, and he threatens to pull the door logs to see who is actually at work for 8 hours a day. I figured he was bluffing and I didn't worry because having been on the train's schedule for 4 years I knew that every day I was in the building from 7 to 4 except for occasionally walking down the street to grab lunch. The key point here is that being a contractor I couldn't work overtime without authorization, so for 4 years I had just put 40 hours a week on my timesheet. You may see where this is going. The fateful day comes when BM actually pulls the door logs and 2 of our engineers get a talking to about their time in the building and how claiming 40 hours without being there for 40 is fraud. I was upset by this, because everybody that was left was working very hard and the 2 guys BM had confronted had been working on co-op projects at our off-site location for years, so unless he pulled those logs as well. He didn't. They would be short. So what did I do? I stopped by BM's office and asked what my door totals were. He told me I was fine and not to worry about it. I told him I just wanted to be sure my time in matched my timesheet, as I didn't want to get caught in timesheet fraud again. He said not to worry about it, so I headed down to see my buddy Tony in security and he pulled my logs for me. Next week I walked in BM's office, closed the door, and told him I had a problem. I had pulled my door logs and over the last 4 years I had averaged almost 44 hours a week in the office but had only ever charged 40. I had almost 800 hours of unreported labor and didn't know what to do about that. He told me not to worry about it. It wasn't a big deal. Next step, I contacted our company representative and explained the situation to her. She did not think it wasn't a big deal. In the end I signed her NDA, but BM got removed from his role. I bought our whole team beers and lunch. And a memo went out to the team telling us specifically to charge what we worked even if it had some overtime. Edit. My pay rate at the time was about $60 per hour, putting this shortage at just shy of $50,000. 9 comments. Award. Share. Save. 106 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 3. $1. 2K. R. Malicious Compliance. Posted by U. Bambuscus 505. 15 hours ago. Yup. Sure. Don't listen to the guy who operates the machinery. F around and find out. I guess. MOC. Sir, I work in a metal fabrication plant. We build all sorts of stuff there. But mostly we build elevator and farming equipment parts. I'm stationed in the finishing department where we do powder coating. And my job is to operate a large industrial oven that melts the powder coat into a solid coat. However, our system is subpar at best. There are so many little things wrong with everything that, if fixed, would make our whole area so much more efficient. One problem we constantly keep running into is cross-contamination. Part A is supposed to be X color. But because Part B was also being coated with Y color, they both come out of the oven all speckled and gross. Some companies we work with couldn't care less. But we have 2 companies who are really picky about how the parts look when they're finished. One day, we had come in for overtime on a Saturday. And I noticed that the speckle problem was especially bad. And so I started looking for the cause, as all of those parts now had to be redone. And the goal of catching up for the next week had now been ruined. At first, I thought my oven was dirty. But that couldn't have been it, because I cleaned it that morning, and had done a thorough deep clean a few days prior. Then I thought maybe the parts had been sitting beside the oven for too long while I waited for space to put them in. But that typically wasn't an issue. So I put that one on hold. Then I thought maybe I had put them too close together. So I decided to let one color cycle all the way through the oven before putting in the next color. But it still came out speckled. At this point, I knew it couldn't have been something I was doing wrong. So I went over to the powder coating area to investigate. And I immediately found the problem. They were using both booths at the same time, coating two different colors. And there was an air current blowing yellow powder into the black powder booth. Mystery solved. I immediately notified my supervisor about what was happening, and told her we probably should be coating two different colors at the same time, because all of the parts are coming out bad. But she told me that there was no way that was the issue, and that it had to be something I was doing wrong. But I had just checked everything that had previously been a cause of speckles, and I knew for a fact that this couldn't be the case. So I hatched up a plan. I waited until the oven was completely empty again, and I pulled her aside and said, "All right. You see that? The oven is completely empty. And you watched me clean it this morning. So you and I are gonna do a little wager. I bet you this week's entire paycheck that even though there are absolutely no yellow parts currently inside that oven, that these black parts are gonna come out yellow anyways. And they'll be coming straight from the booth. They won't be sitting out exposed to any debris. They'll just go straight in. And they'll still be yellow anyways." She thought this idea was absolutely ridiculous, and saw absolutely no reason how she could ever be wrong, despite the fact that she knows nothing about how the oven system works. And she took the bet. 45 minutes later, the parts come out. And what I know. The black came out yellow. Turns out that sometimes the people who operate the machinery know more about said machinery than those who have never touched it. TLDR. My supervisor thought I was doing my job wrong. I bet her the entire next paycheck that I was actually right. She took the bait and I won. 69 comments. Award. Share. Save. 87 people here. If you're enjoying this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Story 4. $171. Malicious Compliance. Posted by Casbarb48. 7 hours ago. I don't get commission. Sock. I used to work for a national soda company. My job was to make sure our items were always well stocked on the shelves and work new product into stores on load days. I didn't make the orders. A different sales guy was supposed to swing by twice per week and take stock. Conference with the manager about upcoming sales, etc. One thing I found out is that the sales guy could make a commission if they pushed out more than the average product count and or getting a store to accept new inventory they previously didn't stock. This the reason why they always order way too much stuff. But that's another story. Anyways, there is this one store way out in the boonies for this tiny little community. It is a 45-minute drive from the rest of the area we service. My boss only has me go there twice a week. Sales guy decides it is a waste of time to go out there and tells me to take the order. I tell him that's not my job and I haven't been trained on the software. He tells me to just phone it into the warehouse. I know he has not run this by my boss. There is no way he would have ever signed off on this. Q malicious compliance. Our total shelf space at this store is 20 feet of shelves. We have space for maybe 40 12-packs. I get on the phone with the warehouse and make my order. I order 26 pallets of product. The most that can fit in a truck. The warehouse supervisor chuckles as I do this, as he has already figured out how this will end. I get a call from the sales guy on delivery day. I man shrugging and was like, "What's the problem? You just made a ton of commission," and hang up. Then I get a call from my boss. He doesn't say a word other than the driver needs help moving product back into the trailer for buyback. I could feel his grin through the phone. 6 comments. Award. Share. Save. 33 people here. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and turn notifications on.